Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Susie Jane Designs. Today's video is interesting because my husband is kind of down and out right now. So I had this video planned to release to you guys. Actually, I almost had it done to release last weekend. But what ended up happening was the baby woke up from her nap. And then it took me like 10 times as long to do my projects as I had planned on taking. So you'll see in the video she's very helpful in the way that a toddler is helpful. Here's the thing, guys. I had a really hard time deciding what I wanted to do for my summer porch decor. Spring was so easy. I wanted it to be, bunnies and flowers and, that kind of thing. It was super easy. But for summer, I'm struggling, and not because I couldn't find anything I liked, because I find multiple things that I'm drawn to, so I couldn't figure out how to incorporate everything that I want. For the next few videos, because it's going to take me a while to accomplish the whole thing, we are going to be decorating my front porch. And when I say decorating, I mean that I'm going to make a majority of the stuff that I put out there. So, of course, I want to record it for you guys. The theme that I decided to go with, so that I can incorporate whatever I want, really, is I decided to go with a farmer's market theme. Because then that way I can have the lemons, and I can do the patriotic decor if I want. I can tie it all together in that farmhousey way that I love. So, that being said, today's video is going to be touching on the patriotic decor. I hope that you guys enjoy coming along with me today and, enjoy seeing a toddler help craft and what that's all about. Guys, I don't know how moms do this thing with toddlers where, these stay-at-home moms, more power to them. I think they're brilliant. I was a stay-at-home mom for a very brief period of time, and I absolutely adored it. But I literally just did the mom thing. I took care of the house and was a mom, and that was it. I didn't do all this extra crafting and stuff like that at that time because I can't even imagine finding the time to do it. Right now, our lives are insane because I'm still working full time, helping take care of, the things that my husband can't do on his own, and taking care of the kids. And somehow in my crazy brain, I feel like I still have to craft on top of that because, I'm going to be honest with you, I would go crazy if I didn't craft. And I'm sure my family will agree with me on that point, is that even though I sometimes get cranky when my crafts don't go the way that I want, I'm a lot happier when I get this finished project done. So, come with me and the baby as we make some patriotic decor. Let's go. For the first project, I'm starting with this wood cutout from the Dollar Tree in the shape of a star, and I'm using Waverly Antique Wax. I'm sorry, my camera wouldn't focus here, but I'm basically using this as a stain, and I'm just going to paint it all over the front and back of my star as well as the side. I also have 4 of the tumbling tower blocks from the Dollar Tree, which I'm going to do the same process on, and you'll see what we will use these for later. I got a little too much of it on this side, so I'm just going to wipe away any excess with a paper towel and set this aside to dry. So while that's drying, we're going to move on to the next project. I'm using these alphabet blocks from the dollar store. It comes 9 to a pack, but we're only going to use 7. I'm covering every side of the block with Waverly chalk paint in the color white. I did end up doing 2 coats of this to cover up the letters. As you can see, the baby is helping with her blocks, and that can only end well, right? While the blocks are drying, we're going to use this sign from the Dollar Tree. We're actually going to use the back of it. And again, I'm just painting this with the Waverly chalk paint in white. This particular sign was a sign I had on hand already, but I know Dollar Tree sells signs like this all year round. So while the sign is drying, we're going to move back to the blocks, and I'm just going over them with a little bit of sandpaper to smooth out any of those paint strokes. Now I'm using my antique wax again, and I'm just going around the edges of every side, every block, and then rubbing out any excess with a paper towel. And while that's drying, I'm going to come in with the antique wax on the sign and go around the edges, and then also a little bit in the middle. And I'm using the antique wax and my brush to kind of make it look like these are wood planks by drawing a line and then kind of rubbing it in with my paper towel. So while all of that is drying, we're going to start the last project, and I'm using these paint stir sticks that I picked up at Lowe's for 98 cents for a pack of 10. I'm only using 7 of the stir sticks, and I alternated the direction of the little indent that comes on them so that it wasn't all lined up. Now I'm just painting each one of the stir sticks with the Waverly chalk paint in white. So I thought it might be easier to paint these while they're still separated. So right now I'm just taping off the upper left-hand corner that I'm going to be painting blue so that I can start with my red striped pieces. So I'm using the color Crimson by Waverly, again a chalk paint, and I'm painting every other paint stir stick with the red color. Now, while those are drying, I just used my printer and computer to print out the word America. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to cut each individual letter out. I used my colored chalk to color on the back of one of the letters, taped it onto one of my little wooden alphabet blocks, and then traced over it. And I just repeated this process with each block, and so now I have the chalk outline of the letters. While I still have the chalk out, I printed out this map of the US off of my computer, and I colored on the back of this with the colored chalk as well, taped it to the sign, and then outlined it with my pen. Once I'm done tracing and remove the paper, I now have the outline of the United States, and I'm going in with my Waverly chalk paint in the color Ocean, and I'm going to start by filling in the outline first, and then I'll go in and fill in the middle. I will say this is probably not a completely accurate depiction of the map. I had taped the printed paper down onto the ground next to me so I could reference it for any parts that were a little light on the chalk. But the baby pulled the tape off, and it was really windy this day, and the wind carried the paper away, and I could not find it anywhere. And I didn't want to waste paper by printing out another one, so I was just doing the best I could. While that's drying, I'm going to go back to the wood letters that have the chalk outline of the word America, and I'm going to fill those letters in with the Waverly chalk paint in this blue color called Ocean as well. While those are drying, I'm going to go back to my paint stir sticks. I'm going to remove the tape and put it over the red stripes so that I can now paint that upper left-hand corner in that same blue Waverly chalk paint. Once that was dry, I removed the tape and I flipped everything over, and I'm using 2 large popsicle sticks and I'm cutting them down to size so that they won't stick out, and I'm attaching them to the back of the paint stir sticks using E6000 and also a little bit of hot glue. Once the hot glue had a few seconds to dry, I just flipped it back over, and I'm using sandpaper to kind of distress this a little bit because I don't want it to look perfect. Now I'm going in with my antique wax, and I'm just going to distress the edges and a little bit in the middle on the stripes because I don't want it to look perfect again. I want it to look aged. Now I'm going in with my white paint pen and doing the stars on the blue section. I will say, obviously, this is not an accurate flag, so I did 1 row of 5, 1 row of 4, 1 row of 5, 1 row of 4, not 50. While that's drying, I'm going back to the star, and I printed out this phrase on my computer using a regular printer again. It just says stars and stripes, colored on the back with my colored chalk, taped it down, and traced over it with my pen. And now I'm going in with my white paint pen again, and I'm just outlining those words. I did lose some of my footage, but once I finished with the text, I went around the edge and just added a line all along the edge of the star. I also glued the tumbling tower blocks in a V shape at the back of the star, which I'm trying to show you here. My camera is not focusing very well, but those are the bottom points of the star. Going back to the United States sign, I just freehanded some text in pencil, and now I'm going over it actually using my white chalk pen because my paint pen was clumping a lot and I didn't want to mess this part of the sign up. And of course, I went back over the text to make sure that it was filled in and very visible. I had this galvanized heart on hand that I had taken off of a Dollar Tree sign from Valentine's Day, and I decided to add it to the edge of the US. I was feeling like this sign needed a little pop of red, so I have this red twine from the Dollar Tree, and I just am wrapping it around the left-hand side of the sign and tying it. That's it for today's video, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and I want to thank all of you for joining me. I hope that you guys stick around so that you can see the rest of my front porch decor as I make it over the next couple of weeks, and I am super excited. Not even kidding, guys. Actually, I'm going to go start working on some more of them right now. So stay tuned. Hopefully next week, if you know my life permits me to edit said video, you know, we'll have some more porch decor stuff for you guys then. So until next time. I don't even know what dance this is, but it's pretty cool. I feel legit to quit. Anyway, until next time, guys, I'll be seeing you.